United States and other states where it is still morning, good afternoon and good evening, depending on where you're hearing my voice from. If you are in Nigeria, it is definitely good afternoon. If you are in the United States, I say good morning. And other parts of the world, those watching me from Australia, you're welcome to Enuani Cultural Forum, where we promote the rich cultural heritage of the Igbo people. Today we are looking at a very interesting topic that people usually choose to overlook. We cannot always be talking about state creation and our identity issues. Let's talk about something very, very deep and concerning, something that is gradually becoming a norm. Why are some Igbo titled men not promoting Igbo culture? There are two reasons why chieftaincy titles are given. At least, if I speak for my own part of Igbo land, there are two major reasons why chieftaincy titles are given. And there are two categories of chieftaincy titles. The first category of chieftaincy title is a chieftaincy title that is by birthright, that is in a lineage. It is usually domiciled in a family. It is a hereditary chieftaincy title, usually found in a lineage. So, somebody from that lineage is usually nominated, and then the king will bestow that chieftaincy on that person who was nominated by his or her omonna, his omonna, usually a male. Now, the other class, this class of chieftaincy title is hereditary. It is not ceremonial. He is not a chief by the dictates or at the pleasure of the king. He is representing his ancestors by holding that title. If it is unknown title and it is usually within a certain lineage, that person holds the unknown title in trust for other members of his lineage. There is another category of chieftaincy title called ceremonial chieftaincy title. This chieftaincy title is given to someone who is like a promoter of culture, a supporter of the community, is a ceremonial chief. That is where you hear titles like Omemboji 1, Omekanaya 1, Akokaria 1. Those kind of chieftaincy titles are conferred by the king ceremoniously. It is not a hereditary title. It is given based on the individual and how this individual has contributed meaningfully to the well-being and growth of the community. Where such titles are conferred on these two classes or categories of people, one thing is certain, that they must continue to promote the cultural practices of the community. Follow me, I am heading somewhere. Now, when these titles are conferred on these two categories of people, they are expected to promote the cultural practices of the people. But sadly, that is no longer the case. If we begin by talking about how chiefs and kings in Igbo land today have allowed themselves to become enemies instead of custodians of the culture of Ndi Igbo, it is very sad. And I thank God for the caliber of people we have in the church, that we still have priests, especially the Catholic ones, who are very, very well versed, who are well brought up in Igbo culture. when they see things going on like this wrongly, they will say no, correct it. Now let me begin with Igoji, because all the ihe na-atọ ndị Igbo na-agọ. Igbo na-agọ ọfọ, Igbo na-agọ ọjị. Ihe na-atọ Igbo na-agọ, nke izizi n'ime ha bụ ọfọ. Igbo na-agọ ọfọ, a way of making declaration. Igbo na-agọkwa ọjị. Igbo na-agọ mmụọ. Now, the particular one called Oji, Igoji, I grew up hearing this term. Oji anaghị anụ Oyibo. Kolanut does not understand English. So every time ewenitere Oji, Igbo chọọ ịgọ ọjị, a na-agọ ọjị n'asụsụ Igbo. A na-agọ ọjị n'asụsụ Igbo. Usoro ndị dị n'ịgọ ọjị, nke mbụ bụ na a na-agọ ọjị n'asụsụ Igbo. Ọjị na-esokwa the oldest person in the gathering, not the most successful person or the priest. I have seen Catholic Reverend Fathers who are well raised turn down the opportunity to break kolanut because they know that somebody older than them is in the gathering, and they say, Gachono, the oldest person. There are so many characteristics of Oji that I may not want to go into. Anyị nwere ihe a na-akpọ na Oji bụ onye njem. A na-agọsi Oji tupu agọọ ya ma waa Oji. And ọ nwoke na-eme ihe ndị niile a, onwe nke nwaanyị na-eme n'ime ha. So, kolanut is blessed using the Igbo language, not English. And when we are blessing kolanut or making declarations using kolanut, we are doing it in reference to our ancestors. But these days, you will see a king raise kolanut, bless kolanut, mention our ancestors, and then in order to maybe feel politically correct or maybe have acceptance by the people he is aiming to please, you will hear a king say, Anya Agozi Oja in the name of Jesus. Kolanut is not what you bless in Jesus' name. When you have finished mentioning your ancestors, all of them you have listed and you say, Oja, na Jesus, you cannot serve two masters at the same time. You cannot serve two masters at the same time. If you are a Christian, understood very well that you are a Christian, and you're going to make prayers, you're going to bless kolanut for you and your audience because you want to miss Ordinani and Ihendioka together, it's okay. Go ahead and do so. But when you list out your ancestors, you say Zemu Toji, Okwelegwe Toji, Ndemunai Toji. In the end, you say, I bless this in the name of Jesus. That's a very big contradiction. That is for kings. And then, what about their chiefs? Now, we're even talking about a king that knows how to speak the language of his community, Igbo language. What about the kings that cannot even speak a word in their community's Igbo dialect or language? It is sad and unfortunate. Most kings nowadays, and I am not joking, do not live in their community. They only visit when it suits them. When does it suit them? When it is time to come and get one or two benefits, not even when it is time for festival. They can skip their community's AYG festival and all other festivals, but visit when it is time to obtain benefits from the community. It is sad. It is sad. So let me set up a question that will help us today to is it right for a king to live outside his hometown So like I said, there are kings in Igbo land that do not even live in the community where they are kings. They only visit that community. There are kings in Igbo land who are custodians of culture and tradition that do not speak the language or even understand the language of their ancestors. This is such a tragedy, a very big tragedy. It is like the beginning of the end of the sustenance of our Igbo culture. It is a sour bite in the tasty meal called Enuani Igbo, that a king will live outside the community where he is called king, does not speak the language of the community where he is called king, does not promote or practice the culture of the community where he is called king. I have seen a few such kings. It is wrong. Now, if a king does not live in the hometown or community where he is supposed to be king, what will happen to his own children? Because it is a progressive thing. If it starts with a father, of course the children will do worse than the father did. We now have kings living outside of the community where they are kings. I first experienced this in Igbo land, somewhere in River State. Obagi, to be precise, in Omok, in Oba land. The excuse was that there was serious insecurity in the community and the kings had to run away to Port Harcourt. But these days, it is now commonplace. You will hear that this man is the king of so community. He either lives in Lagos or other parts of the world, usually visits his community when there is something to gain. Maybe there is a land deal and there is money to share from it. This is what we are currently experiencing in Igbo land. And then, what is bringing us to this is the comparison between church and tradition. Has Igbo titled men helped in destroying our tradition? What comes with chieftaincy title is the oath to protect and project the culture of that community. Are there chiefs in such palaces where the king is no longer present? What are such chiefs saying? Or they are Christian chiefs? Being a Christian, don't get me wrong, doesn't make somebody a liar. In fact, it is supposed to help you to become more truthful. Being a Christian does not give one the license to become a liar. Although today, our traditional adherents, our traditional worshippers are even more truthful than some people that identify as Christians. I'm saying they identify, it doesn't mean they are. Because it is by their lifestyle that we will know that this one truly is a Christian. I have a few Catholic priests as friends on my social media handle. I have Reverend Father Angelo Chede Onebu. I have Reverend Father Mark Ugu. I have Reverend Father Oloma. And so many others. These people who project, and Bishop Honor, let me not forget to mention him because he is exceptional. These people who project truth to the public and let them know that Igbo culture is not atheism. In fact, the Igbo have known God long before we first set eyes on the Europeans. We have been worshiping God through his various messengers. We have been worshiping God and we have exercised faith in God in different ways. So, the church did not come to destroy tradition, especially the Catholic Church. There are some aspects of the Catholic Church that you will see, you will know that this is in tandem with Igbo culture. There is this one, churching of a child. That is Ikuputa Wano Noka, when a child is born. The Catholic Church has abrogated it since from their calendar. It's no longer a practice in their calendar. But it has remained a practice in Nigeria. Because it is part of Igbo culture. That when a woman gives birth to a child and she's still having blood of impurities in her, she will not appear in church with it, in order not to defile. We usually perceive a woman's blood, especially menstrual blood or blood after childbirth, as impurity. It does not, such a woman cannot appear before a shrine. It will defile that shrine. Such a woman does not take through some certain routes, even in my community till today. There are some farm roads a woman who is menstruating cannot follow. It is a defilement. So this has been abrogated by the church. It is no longer a practice in the church calendar, but it has remained in African churches, in Nigerian churches, especially in Igbo land, because it is Igbo culture that anything you consider a shrine, anything you consider an altar, should be sacred. So there are some practices you will see in the church, the Catholic Church, especially. I'm using especially for the Catholic Church because I have taken time to understudy it. You will see Catholic knights and people who have gone for, even Reverend Fathers, participating in cultural festivals. There's this Reverend Father brother of mine, Reverend Father Chukwode Franklin Odiaka, is a young Reverend Father, does not miss participating in our community's Iwu festival. A festival that new adherents of Christianity will say, this one is evil, I don't want to be part of it. There's no killing of any goat before any tree. There's no sacrificing any food to any idol. It is just a festival that celebrates purity. And that priest usually participates every year, dressed in his full aquacha. So the church did not come to destroy tradition, but people who misinterpret church now use it to try to. Like I gave an example that I have a Catholic priest kinsman who is now a Diopala in his lineage. He is now a Diopala in his lineage. He has not rejected the offer of his able. But ordinary Christians who did not go that far, who did not go to theological school, who do not have any understanding of Christianity, will not even want to touch the offer or come near it. Probably because they know their hands are not clean. Because you cannot harbor offer of your lineage in your house when your house is not in order. Please, if you're just joining us, kindly give us a thumbs up. And if you are not yet a subscriber, please subscribe to this channel. This is Enuani Cultural Forum, where we promote the rich cultural heritage of Igbo. And I am asking a question there. Part of the questions that I asked is this, is on the Q&A. Is it right for a traditional ruler to live outside his hometown? Is it right for a traditional ruler to live in a place outside his hometown? As you drop your comments, I'll be seeing them in the comment section. So, another thing we are looking at is this. Among the cultural practices of our people, thank you so much. It's nice to see you on board, Engineer. Good luck. So, is it right? Is it right for a traditional ruler to live outside the place where he is called Eze? Obi, is it right for a king to do that? So, secondly, we are looking at, have Igbo titled men helped in destroying Igbo culture? You will see a titled man today in public eating food. That respect is absolutely not right, because he cannot foresee the activities of the community. Thank you. What is happening in most communities today, that every blessed day you will see them at a police station. Every blessed day you will see some communities settling their dispute at a police station. Why? Because that traditional setup, that dispute conflict resolution system that was put in place by community is not there anymore. There are 3 stages in handling dispute in the community, depending on where that dispute came from. If it is a dispute in the market, it is handled by the Omu and her council, because she is in charge of the market. There are different kinds of disputes that can emanate from a market. 1, a case of stealing or theft. If somebody steals in the market, it is the Omu and her traditional council of women and men that handle such matters. If there's a case of fighting in the market, it is the Omu that handles this situation. If there's a case of indecent dressing or nakedness or sexual immorality in the market, it is the Omu that handles this. If there's a case of overpricing of items in the market, it is the Omu that handles this. But nowadays, this traditional institution that I mentioned is just existing on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They are not in the market, most of them at least. Some of them do not know what is happening in the market. They are now digital Omu. So they do not care what happens in the market where they are supposed to be presiding. Because if they were there, the crisis that emanate from the market will not go to the police. If crisis of land grabbing or theft or any related issue emanates from the farm, it is handled by the farm road association. There's an association of people who farm in that particular farm route. They handle it. If a dispute emanates in the family between 2 siblings or people of the same kindred, it is handled by the kindred leadership, who holds the offer of the family or the lineage. When it fails at this stage, it gets to the palace. When disputes get to the palace, it is finally resolved. That way, you will not see 2 kinsmen going to police or landing in court with each other. So, but because Most of our palaces are empty now because of the absence of the overarching ruler, because of the absence of either the king or his chiefs. Most of our palaces are now desolate. Therefore, if there is crisis in the community, the first point of call becomes the police station, which is wrong. Which is wrong. In my community, I grew up knowing that one near police. Anybody that takes you to police becomes your lifetime enemy. But today, people go to police as a first point of call when there is problem. Thank you so much, engineer. He said a king should not be resident outside his kingdom. It is not right. Thank you so much, Miracle. So, most kings nowadays live outside their community. Now, I'm starting with the king because as an Isikana, the cap is made for the head, not the head for the cap, because without a cap, you can have your head. But the cap is useless without a head. These kings live outside their hometown. They do not speak the language of their community. All these, they hide under Christianity. Christianity does not teach anyone to denigrate or forsake their tradition. There's a place in Proverbs, which I cannot remember now exactly, that says, forsake not the ancient landmarks that were set by your grandfathers. Remember them and to keep them. These ancient landmarks are meant to guide you. These statutes that were put in place by your grandfathers were meant to guide you. I can imagine a king. I once listened to the king of Ezi. Ezi community is one of the children of Ezechima. One of the children of Ezechima, the communities founded by him is Ezi. In fact, the full name is Opa Renezi Chima. That is, friendship exists in the home of Ezechima. So Ezi, the name of their king is His Royal Majesty Eze Mohayem. So Obi Mohayem of Ezi once made a statement while addressing one of his kinsmen, one Mr. Obeche, who lives abroad, is a philanthropist. He was telling them that, help me to rebuild Ezi because this Ezi is my London, it is my Washington, it is my Paris, it is my France, it is my Lagos. I do not have anywhere else. This is where I will live and die. Unlike you, you can go anywhere you want to and settle. That is the mindset of a king. Begging for development down to his hometown because that is where he is resident. But this is an age where we have kings who do not even confidently know the road that leads to their community. They will require guide or help to locate their community where they are called kings. It is wrong. Now, there are kings whose job it is. In Western Igbo land, there are many. And there are a few in Eastern Igbo land. There are some whose job it is now to sell land to land grabbers, share the money, and relocate abroad, still bearing the name king. When he hears there's something big happening again in his hometown, he will appear. When that something big comes to an end, he zooms back. It is wrong. They say in Igbo proverb that ahuge kune ebu okei, ekuga anune ebu nwata. What does it mean? Seeing and not talking about it kills a man, but hearing and not implementing it kills a child. It is on us as elders, as people God has given the wisdom to continue to talk and hope that someday, somewhere, there will be an ear to listen. Makana gwante onune webepu isi osolena. It is wrong for a king to live outside his hometown. You can live in your hometown and visit anywhere you want to visit. Once you are pronounced as a king, you return to your hometown and travel to wherever you want to travel to. Now, when you have returned to your hometown, it is now your duty to begin to protect and project the customs and traditions of your ancestors. So what I'm asking is, has Igbo titled men helped in destroying Igbo culture? Because these kings, when they abscond from their throne, they usually hand over to chiefs. What stops these chiefs from telling them the truth? The very simple truth. I am sorry, my king, but you cannot live outside your hometown. I am sorry, my king, but you cannot bless kola nut in the name of Jesus. After mentioning deities, you end it with in the name of Jesus. You can choose one: to serve God, to serve Jesus, to be a Christian, and be it completely, without trying to undermine the cultural practices, the religious practices of your ancestors. You can pick one. It is not wrong to serve God through Christianity, but it is wrong for you to impose your own Christianity on your community. Because as a king, you are not the king of Christians alone. There are Christians in your community. There are Muslims in your community. There are atheists in your community. There are traditional religious worshippers. That traditional religion is what you were sworn in as a king, what you were enthroned to come and protect. You can say no. And this is where I have to talk about my recent disdain for primogeniture. Primogeniture has cost us more than it has given to us. What is primogeniture? A system of kingship system, a system of monarchy where a father hands over to the son, the first son usually, when he passes on. Most of the time, these first sons are not prepared. Most of the time, these first sons are not interested. Most of the times, these first sons do not know their left from their right, either because they were not groomed to become king, or they are not even interested at all. So primogeniture has cost us a lot. It has brought our culture to its knees by enthroning kings that are not interested, but because it is their birthright, but because they say it is their heritage, they have no option than to just occupy that seat. Then they use the seat to commit all manner of abominations. This has led to the decline. This has led to the denigration and misrepresentation of the values of Igbo culture. These kings now give chieftaincy title to thieves, to rogues, to irresponsible individuals who do not have a source of income that is legitimate. based on the premise that they have money. Money that was gotten for what means they do not know and they do not care. What happened to the days of Ezia Fakego? These kings do not know about that. If you probe them further for accountability, they will pose as Christians. They have never held the offer of their community with one hand any day because they will die. Because of their unjust ways, because of their evil ways. They now enthrone chiefs that eat in public, sell community land, instigate community crisis, do all sort of abomination in the community, sleep with people's wives, destroying the cultural heritage of their people. Chiefs that go from one hotel to another, committing all manner of evil and abomination, because the person who is at the throne has given them license to, or is not even available in most cases. It is in this era that you will see people from the same community coming to social media to cry, oh please, the world, come and hear, oh, come and save us from our king, oh, he's grabbing our land, oh, he has taken my wife, oh, he's taking my land, oh, he has taken my wife, oh, he has taken my daughter, oh. In this modern era, kings, many of them are not even resident in the shores of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Some are permanently based in Lagos, some in Port Harcourt. Mention to them that they are going to share one community land money. Piam, they are in their hometown the next day. It is sad and unfortunate, and may our ancestors not strike them dead, because they are endangering their lives. They are endangering their lives. They have declared themselves enemies to Ani, the land. It is wrong. It is wrong to fight with Ani. You can fight with any other thing. You can fight. The land where you have been administered an oath to protect its customs and tradition, you abscond from that land and run away to Lagos, to Abuja, to the city, because you now see that land as a village, but you were made the king of that village. In some states, in most states, you earn salary as a king. Every month, the government will pay you, because they have a council of traditional rulers, and you will earn salary, and you will smile. To come and take responsibility, the administration of that community, you will not do so. Our ancestors are watching you and they are not happy with you. May they have mercy on you. Back to our main topic. So these chiefs that claim we are Christian chiefs, we are not into any ordinary. They don't partake in festivals. They don't promote our festivals. They don't promote our culture. They marry out their children in Lagos. They marry out their children in big cities. Don't worry. Here, they will not get to their particular community. They will do their daughter's marital rights in Enugu. They will not get to their own immediate community in Aniri. This kind of kings, this kind of chiefs, how have they helped to promote our culture? Or they have just succeeded in destroying it? Please, if you're just joining us, this is Enuani, a cultural forum where we promote the rich cultural heritage of Igbo. Please, if you are not yet a subscriber, kindly subscribe to our channel and share this video to your audience. If you're just watching as well, please give us a thumbs up or super thanks if you can. We are discussing how has Igbo titled men helped in destroying Igbo culture. We know there are many of them that promote our culture, but there are so many too that destroy it. Let me read this comment. Land is a means to an end and a source of wealth. That's why most villages are hardly developed year in, year out. Greed to the extreme. Thank you so much. So, there are different ways to use land as a king or as a chief to help your community. There are some, in most of the communities, they say land is communally owned, but the king is the one who has the power of attorney to the land. So, some kings who are wise can sell a portion of land, give out scholarship to their indigents, to 50 or 100 people to go to school so that they can have more educated people that will help in promoting the number of human capital they have so that that community can grow. So a king these days will single-handedly map out a large area of land, sell it, and go shopping for the best cars available to buy. He buys it. What next? The best regalias available, he will buy them. And what? He will renovate his palace. What next? He spends this money that is communally owned on his selfish, individualistic agenda. It is sad. So when these kings sell the land, they use the money to act on selfish purposes. They buy a new car, buy new attires, dress any way they want to, sometimes like masquerades. So the money goes down the drain and they start looking for what is the next land available again to sell. If the money is so big, they buy a house in a city. Greetings from Omok. I promise I greet you, my brother. So I was talking about Omok the other time. I said most kings from that area of Omok live in Port Harcourt. They don't live in their hometown. I know of kings in Obagi who have run away to Port Harcourt long ago. They don't stay there. Obite, Akabuka, Ede, all these places I mentioned, they have no structured leadership anymore. The person you can find on ground there is the Ezoba of Oba, of Omok. He lives there in Omok, right? Or you will see police people surrounding him because of the insecurity. They used the insecurity that was during the period of Enuani as an excuse to run away. So you will see kings that do not live in their hometown, but they will remember they are kings when there is oil and gas money to share, when there is revenue for the community, when there is a global bonus. I'm talking about Oba land now. When there is a global bonus, or when there is Christmas bonus, just when there is a benefit. Now that there is a small problem, Ajip has decided that they will stop supplying electricity to these areas. I have not heard the kings say anything. You have to live in this area to understand what it means to have electricity, a power outage. Even if it's for 30 minutes, heat will finish you. Because there is gas flaring everywhere. Promise, I'm talking about where you are because I've lived there. There is gas flaring. So heat will finish you if they take light. Therefore, the companies had to use IPP, independent power supply, to power up the communities. But now they have decided to withdraw it. And I've not heard the kings talking. Why? Because the kings are in Port Harcourt. They are not in their hometown. So Igbo titled men, kings and chiefs, how have they helped to promote Igbo culture? They have destroyed the culture and tradition. If you ask them, they will say they are Christian kings. Try to dodge the festival. I don't know how you will eat a soup and say you don't eat the meat that is used in cooking it. You have eaten the meat. By tasting that soup, you have eaten the meat. Oh. You are sitting on an ancient throne that is traditional. And you say you are a Christian king. You are a traditional king. There's nothing like Christian king. The only king in Christianity is Jesus. He is the king of all kings and Lord of lords. That's Jesus, the Son of God. In Christianity, he is the only king. You cannot be answering the name Christian king, Christian chief. You are a traditional chief. You are a traditional king, a traditional ruler, not a king in Christianity, not a Christian king. You are a king, a traditional king. If you now choose to adhere to Christianity, adhere to it. Don't use it as an excuse to demonize, denigrate, and relegate our culture to the background. Festivals in many communities are coming to an end because the year is almost coming to an end. But there are kings who did not take part in any of the festivals of their community. It is wrong. It is a shame on you as a king. Where? A very big shame. Your community will have 4 or 5 festivals. Not one did you take part in. And you are the king. If they do Christ the King, you will come out in church. If they do Feast of All Souls, you will come out. Feast of All Saints, you are there. Any feast they mention, you are there. But in Waji of your hometown, you will not be there. You are now a Christian king, but you are a king. So this is just my major disagreement with what I called primogeniture, transference of leadership from father to first son. A first son who may never be interested in what the community is doing. A first son who may not know his left from his right. If you're just joining us, this is Enuani Cultural Forum where we promote the rich cultural heritage of Igbo, and I'm pleading with you to please subscribe to our channel. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me read one other comment if there's a new one. And please share the video to your audience. I'm trying to do so. So I have shared the video to my audience. On Facebook. Please let me read out. So this your topic is very important. Thank you. So Promise Akachuku said this king or is this situation in Oba land are actually turning around gradually for good as I speak. Oba land is flourishing. Wow. As at the time I left Oba land, Zenith Bank and all other banks that were doing well had left because of insecurity. But I'm very happy to hear that Oba land is coming back. If Oba land comes back, all the economic activities in the area will come back. We will be so happy for them because that is an Igbo. There are so many things in Oba that helps the state, rivers, and the country, Nigeria. The land is rich in oil and gas. Despite not being a strong riverine area, even the places that are just land have crude oil in large deposits. I worked as a pipe welder when I was there. So, as I was saying, is it right for a king or titled man to live, especially a king, to live outside his hometown and then be visiting the hometown maybe once in 5 years, once in 3 years? Is it right? What does the tradition, what does the culture have to say about it? Is it even supposed to be a discussion in the first place? Me, I believe that when somebody is being sworn in, the moment somebody is to be sworn in as a king, I'm saying sworn in as if it's a political position. When somebody is to be installed or coronated as a king, I think one of the instructions should be, and you will be resident in the land, because I don't understand it at all. It's like a governor who lives outside his home state. Sorry about that. I was adjusting. So what I'm saying is this: even state governors, if they are traveling outside the states where they were elected to be governor, there's a maximum number of days in your state or a president, and your office will be declared vacant. Not of a traditional ruler. His hometown, a place where. So will your subjects resolve dispute if there is one? So it is because of this lack of cooperative dispute resolution system or mechanisms that makes some communities, once there's a small quarrel between two people, they're in the police station, they're in court, they start killing each other if they're dissatisfied. So, in my opinion or my view, very informed view, it is wrong for a pride his hometown. What do you think? What is your view? What is your opinion about this? Do you think it is right for a king? After all, he's the king. And some people make excuses by saying wherever a king is becomes his palace. Is it right for a king to live outside his hometown? Please drop your comments. I'll read it out. And probably say hi to you. If this is your first time of seeing our videos as well and you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. See many fascinating videos to watch. This one is a live video. There are so many other recorded and uploaded videos that will interest you. Do well, and if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe to our channel. This is Enuani Cultural Forum, and we are at your turn to give us I know you've not yet given us a thumbs up, so this video just has five likes. It's very poor. So please give us a thumbs up. 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 Okay. What you do when you give us a thumbs up is that it helps the video to rank highly on search engines. When people search for it, they can easily find it. So please give us a thumbs up. Help this video to rank better on search. Thank you. This has been Enuani discussing how has Igbo helped destroying Igbo culture. It was nice, but please do like this video before you leave. Well, to share this video to your audience as well. I'm out. Bye. Like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.